Show you a great weapon against the Dutch defense. Well, the Dutch defense is just when you play f4, f5 move 2 against d4, and you're planning to v-cut the bishop, castle, and have your rook on this open f file, which can be very deadly. So the Staunton Gambit is great against the Dutch defense, and it goes e4 after. A nice little trap is if you just capture, you might be able to throw in this queen h5 move, the only legal move is g6, and then bishop e2. Your opponent might think you have a free queen, they have a free queen, but then they just get checkmated in 5 moves. But this may only work in such time formats like bullet, so something more practical could be just if they try and defend the pawn. But this also leads to mate quite quickly, like this. The king has no escape. But the Staunton Gambit doesn't just guarantee mate in a few moves. If you capture, it can be also very risky if you want to play something like knight f6. Maybe if they continue, you just go f3, they capture, you capture. You'll be able to go here, have a great open file for your rook, and just mow them down, defeat them quite quickly. Another line is after this and bishop e2, it's not that good because they could just play something like knight f6 and then you have to drop back. You can remain you could have some pressure still, but it's just not as good. You don't really have a good position. You're just down a pawn really. And also a better move than knight f6 is actually just knight c6 just to attack the pawn. You could do something like queen b5, and you may think, and your opponent may blunder this, thinking that they have something, when you could just go back to e5 and fork the knight and the rook in the corner. Then they might think they have some sort of escape, but after king d1 and knight captures, you capture here, the king's going to be in the center as long as yours, but their knight is trapped, and you'll have a knight for 3 pawns. Well, actually, they won't really have 3 pawns. You're putting pressure here. They'll have to go something like this. It's just not really a good position for them. And then you always have ideas of just trading off this dark square bishop, which could be being cutted in onto g7. It's just the Staunton Gambit is really good against Dutch defense to ensure possibly quick victories if you're versing a weaker player, or also just great positions. The main move after here is just knight c3, just trying to get the pawn, but the Staunton Gambit is just a very good gambit against the Dutch defense, and it's a great weapon.